here who has some very exciting news to
What's happened?
share with
Hey,
us.
man, how are you?
Guys, I brought teddy bears.
You bought a little one and a big one.
I know. That's kind of weird, but.
Yeah, that's true.
No, the mascot
But-
is totally. I'm all down for the mascot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
all
we
down
brought
for the
this
mascot.
guy.
I'm down for the mascot. I love it. I
Wait,
love
Safety
it.
Sam,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah.
Safety Sam, it's our official. So, I mean, obviously this week, in the next couple weeks, we have, it's National Teddy Bear Day. You know how they have
Yeah.
National Pretzel Day, and
Everything.
National Pizza.
Yeah.
So September 9th is National Teddy Bear Day. So it's a really cool thing that we do with NASCAR and the NASCAR Foundation. We're way involved. That we give these teddy bears to kids in hospitals. So we go to children's hospitals. And this year we are giving away 5,000 teddy bears at 110 different children's hospitals.
That's awesome.
So, it's called the Speedy Bear Brigade, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
Do you bring the mascot to the hospital? I'm sure the kids
Yeah.
would love that, right?
Yeah. Well, so think about like being in and I know we're talking about sports, and we are talking about NASCAR, and it's part of NASCAR,
Yeah.
but it just shows in all of the sports leagues do amazing things like with foundations and with charity and everything else, but NASCAR does a really, really great job. And so we've gotten way involved. But every kid that's in a hospital, like they don't want to be there.
Right.
Whether they're sick,
Yeah.
or they have cancer, or they're injured, they fell out of a treehouse, or whatever, wherever they're there, they don't want to be there. So, and they're sad to be there. And so that's one of the things that NASCAR Foundation does is like decided to, if you go to their room and bring them a teddy bear. So we have these boxes that have that we give the kids that you can color. So there's coloring books, there's a bear, there's coloring books, there's crayons. There's a Jenga set, playing cards, and then they can color. I mean, think back to being an 8-year-old kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it gives them something to do, and whenever somebody gives you something. So it's been awesome. So we have here in Northeast Ohio, they're all coming up, and we're doing the main event at Akron Children's Hospital. And we have the University of Akron marching band is going to play, so we're going to have like a parade for these kids.
That's awesome.
So all the kids that can come out, will be there. If not, then they can watch from the windows, or we can just go in and give them teddy bears. So I don't know. It's awesome.
We're very lucky in Northeast Ohio that we have such a multiple great hospital systems here. But it's sad. I mean, I've spent a lot of time at Seidman Cancer Center because my wife has had leukemia.
Okay.
And I've been at Rainbow Babies there, and you see, I mean, there's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing a kid with cancer. And so any toy that they can get, because a lot of these, I remember during COVID, like some of these kids couldn't even have visitors. It's horrible. So, and some of these kids are there for months or even years in some cases.
Yeah.
So anything that can be done to brighten their days, to make their days a little better. And so kudos to you and the organization for doing this, because it's big.
Yeah, it's fun. And so, again, like I said, with sports, like it's not only even this week is Cleveland Guardians charities week. I mean, we had a golf tournament and we're celebrating, have a give-a-thon, with the Cleveland Guardians. So any organization that is, what do you say? Like you have fans and you have people, but these organizations really do give back to the community and are doing great things and being leaders.
Is there a way that we could help out as well if you want to get involved in this charity event?
So even giving these teddy bears away, if you go to NASCARFoundation.org, it's $25. So if you donate $25, you can give one of these teddy bears to a kid, and even online, like write a special note that they'll be given. Even if it's like a note of inspiration or just saying who you are or what it
Right.
means a lot. Can you imagine you guys can imagine being in a hospital
Yes.
with a broken leg or you tore your ACL or whatever,
Yeah.
and then just somebody even gives you a teddy bear.
And
It's like, that's a nice
nice
like,
gesture.
that's awesome. Yeah.
I got a parrot when I had surgery when I was 7. I still
A
have
real
that parrot
parrot
to
or
this day.
a
a stuffed parrot.
Oh,
They gave me a
okay.
parrot
Stuffed
when I had
parrot.
surgery when I was 7. It wasn't a teddy
No, a
bear.
real
but
parrot
This is
would be
awesome.
I used to love like stuffed animals. Like so when I was young, I had a Cabbage Patch doll. I don't know if you remember Cabbage
Oh,
Patch
yeah.
doll. My dad was not happy at all. Like, him and my mom was like, hey. She's like, I don't know about the
like,
Cabbage
dude,
Patch doll. Like, I don't know. But I love this Cabbage Patch doll. Like, I used to play like random football with it. I even tore the arm off. Like, they sewed it back on. But it was like, but listen, that my
psychotic behavior.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. People look at me different.
Yeah.
I had my buddy and I had pound puppies too. So like when you get that, you be looking around like you be in the whole nother world. And the cool thing about it is a lot of these kids, because I used to work at university hospitals in Sidemen, and we go down and we would screen people, underprivileged children, to see if we can help with their medical bills. And a lot of these kids do not have visitors like that. Their parents work. They come from single parent homes sometimes, and then. You know, they're just there. Like, and the only people they see are the nurses and the people that come through. And to have a mascot come through with like a teddy bear and coloring,
it's unbelievable. Crazy. Yeah, and that's why we do it. You know, we have another program at NASCAR Foundation because we're way involved. Even the guy that runs my race team, his name's Chris Rice. He's on the board of the NASCAR Foundation. So another thing that we're way involved in is giving bikes away. So
nice.
we do a bike build. So I think we're doing it at 13 tracks this year. So the first one was at Daytona. It's the Daytona 500. And we have volunteers even from our company that go down and build these bikes.
That's awesome.
And build the bikes for the kids. And they have no idea. So it's these inner city kids that are coming in, 100 of them, that are doing, have special games, and they're doing pit stops. You know, we've got the tire, and they're doing races on bikes, or like tricycles, and it's just fun. It's a fun day at the track, outside of the track, and then they get to go to their first NASCAR race. I mean, these kids don't get to go to races, so just exposing them to the sport. And then at the end of the event, you know, we and I actually think this is a little messed up, but they have 2 kids, so they choose 2 kids out of 100.
Right.
And they bring them up on stage, and they announce, you 2 get bikes. You were like the MVPs of like the games or whatever, and congratulations. And then all the other kids are like, oh, I guess that's cool. But then we announce that you're all getting bikes.
Yeah,
okay.
So then they all get bikes.
That could have been traumatizing.
I don't like the 4 minutes in between. Hey, these 2 get bikes, and then you guys don't.
You really trying to judge their character. If I was a kid, I'd be like, oh hell no. Listen, I deserve to get that bike up there.
The
Happy
one
for
kid
Brad.
booed, he doesn't get a bike.
Right. He was much more nice than you are.
Speaking of the race team, Matt, I know trophy hunting with Kaulig Racing is now out. The first episode dropped on Monday. It's a new docuseries. It's essentially Hard Knocks, but with NASCAR following you and your race team.
That's right.
What's the experience been like having kind of a camera crew follow you guys around through the first little portion of the season in the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's cool. It's been it just aired. I think it's on NASCAR.
NASCAR YouTube.
NASCAR YouTube, and the first episode just came out. What is today?
Monday.
Yeah, it just came out Monday.
Yeah.
What is today? Monday?
Today's Wednesday.
I don't even know what day it is.
It came out on Monday. Yeah.
But it came out Monday, and it is awesome. And it is a behind the scenes look at, a NASCAR team. Most people don't see that.
No.
And we're going on the CW NASCAR Xfinity Series, going on the CW next year, or even starting here in a couple weeks with, when we start the playoffs, which is in a couple weeks. And so they wanted to do a docuseries and do it on our race team. So it's awesome. So it is a little weird, like somebody following you around all the time. So you have to kind of watch what you're saying and what you're doing. But it's really, right? It's awesome. Yeah. So you guys. Do
you have final cut over what they put on there?
No.
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't think we do.
You really in it then.
Kim does, not me.
So
Kim has final cut.
She's reviewing the tapes.
Yeah.
Nah, this is
how
unacceptable.
are things going on the track?
Everything's great on the track. We've won 3 Xfinity races this year.
Awesome.
We have a couple more road courses coming up. SVG. So Shane Van Gisbergen is he's leading the points. He's leading the series. We have AJ Allmendinger. We haven't won with AJ yet this year, but it's just because of the most horrible luck and the most horrible. For instance, this past weekend Friday night we were at Daytona. We were racing Daytona,
right?
And AJ's awesome there, and we led the most laps, and We were about leading on the last lap and just got wrecked. And so just stuff like that. We should have won Friday night.
Yeah.
And
So,
but I'm predicting that AJ is going to win the championship.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm a
Second.
I mean, he's that good. He's been that dominant, and we just haven't won. So, but we're making a bunch of driver changes, and we're moving AJ Allmendinger back up to the Cup Series next year, and we've got some great young talent in the Xfinity Series. So,
how does that
we're
work?
excited, man.
And when they wreck, do they just send you that invoice? How does that?
No,
is
you
that
just-
direct deposited? Nah.
No, you have to buy a car.
So they just be like, "Yo, you saw the wreck, new whip, new car."
So especially in the Xfinity Series, no, I'm not even kidding. Like when you wreck a car that bad, it goes in the dumpster.
You don't even chop it up.
No,
to parts or
literally
anything?
There's probably nothing salvageable.
in the dumpster.
Wow.
So if the body's that bad,
Yeah.
there's a chassis. So all the metal, like all the car, the body of the car goes on top
Right,
of the
yeah.
chassis. So then that thing gets wrecked up.
Right.
So that's what goes in the dumpster,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
But no, you got to buy a car.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
My Range Rover went down, and I was crying.
No, I cry if we wreck enough cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a couple weekends ago, where we had 4 Xfinity cars and 2 Cup cars, and we wrecked 3 Xfinity cars and 1 of the Cup cars. So that's 4 cars you wreck.
Yeah.
And so people say, do you have insurance on them? No, you don't have insurance on them. They're going to wreck.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're going 200 miles per hour
Yeah.
with 40 other cars. So, no, it's a ridiculously fun, exciting sport, and so the adrenaline that you have, like even watching it, and as a fan. So that's what's cool about the docuseries is that you get a little bit of an insight into, what it's like. I know in part of the series, like we're up on the pit box, and you're hearing the radios and hearing what goes on. It'd be similar to an NFL game where, you hear what the coaches are saying.
Right.
And the NFL's doing a way better job, right? Even the last couple of years of being even like almost like in the huddle and on the sideline, and you hear some of the top players are mic'd up, and I love that Hard Knocks. I love Hard Knocks. I think Hard Knocks is like.
And the Browns will be
show.
on one. There's an in-season one this year where they're doing
Are they
each
really?
team in the AFC North for 1 week later in the year. So we'll see
December, so we'll
in
see
December. So we'll see the Browns in one episode this year.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. What do you guys? How are you guys talking about the Browns?
Well, we haven't seen Deshaun Watson on the field. I mean, the team's really good.
Yeah.
Besides him, I think a lot of us don't know what to expect from him. If he's good, they'll be good. If he's not, they'll be still good, but not as good.
Have they held him out because of injury, or do we know? We just
don't know.
We
We
just don't know.
They're not very transparent about what's going on.
I need 4,500, Deshaun.
Yeah, let's go. He's got to have a big year.
I need 4,500.
He has a big year. Maybe they win it all. We'll see.
Well, we're pulling for him, right? We're pulling for.
Oh, that's right.
And we're just going to talk about the Guardians.
They're not playing well right now.
We was going to talk about these Guardians.
I know we're still on top.
Well,
It's hard.
It hurt my soul.
The ebbs and flows
It's a
of like
roller
it
coaster.
just is. Now we're just right there,
Yeah.
and it's just that time of year. I mean, sometimes you're hot and sometimes you're cold. You just got to get through it.
That's right.
Right.
Well, they got to win today.
And that's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
I know.
We
What are
appreciate
we?
you coming
Are we
down.
1 up? What are we now?
No, it's
They're
tied.
tied. The Royals
tied.
actually have the tiebreaker right now. They're playing each other today. So if they lose, they're in second place for the first time since like the first week of the season.
Since April. And you mentioned the docuseries. New episodes come out every Monday, so
Yep.
make sure you check out episode 2. It's a 4-part docuseries, so there's still 3 more parts. You can go watch the first part of Trophy Hunting with Kaulig Racing on YouTube. It's on the NASCAR YouTube page. Out right now. Matt,
Let's go.
thanks so much for joining
And
us.
Teddy Bear Day is
And September 9th.
September 9th.
Yeah.
National Teddy Bear Day.
There you go.
Awesome.
There it
That
is.
Awesome,
Matt
man.
Great
Kaulig, there's all
work.
the
Thank you for
information.
coming down.
Oh yeah, we forgot to tell you. I'm donating $25,000 to it.
Nice.
So
Damn.
here it is.
Man, I'll tell you,
I know. It's a lot of teddy bears, boys.
It's a that's levels
We got to
to
step
it.
our game up.
Yeah.
I'm just working on the starter plan. It's like 150, and then we give crayons. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. Good.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thanks so much
Thank
for
you,
coming
Matt.
in. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
here on
guys.
the Ultimate
Appreciate it.
Cleveland Sports Show.
Yep.